Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? Can you hear me now? Can you hear me? I hope I'm coming out now. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you so much for joining me this morning, wonderful Biafrans. Thank you, wonderful Biafrans and lovers of freedom. I appreciate everybody who joined me this morning. Very, very important for joining me. Thank you, thank you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. And while you join, please share for people to join us so that together we are going to preach this message. Together we are going to make sure that this message is preached. We are going to continue to do the needful, making sure that our message continue to go high, high, and high. Very, very important. We want every one of you to understand that, thank you and welcome this morning. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me, wonderful Biafrans and lovers of freedom. I want each and every one of you to understand that the state that we are right now, we are not going to be looking at faces, but let us start with a wonderful morning prayer. Thank you. Thank you for joining us. Yes, thank you so much. Thank you so much. Tutos, thank you for joining me. I have been able to share it. The link, I've shared the link, and I believe people can now see it as well. Good morning, wonderful people. Good morning, William. I see you. Tutos, I see you. Endless. Leroy, I see you as well. Thank you for joining me this morning. And I say good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on your time, your location. Yeah, this morning, Otutu Amanwa Chineke, Las Benziko, thank you so much for joining me this morning. Yeah, today we are going to yes, as you see, the topic that we have this morning, he said vindication. Vindication of the prophet himself, mazi Nnamdi Kanu, should be a warning, should be a very big warning to the upcoming Sabos, those who have taken it upon themselves to fight against what we are doing. They should consider the prophecies of mazi Nnamdi Kanu that have come to pass. They should consider the fulfillment of all those prophecies. They should as well consider the warnings that mazi Nnamdi Kanu has given to each and everyone to desist from doing anything that is actually against the freedom. So when they consider all these warnings, it should be a deterrent to them. It should be a very big lesson to each and every one of them. So people that are being recruited at this time to fight against the freedom of our people, they should be wary. They should be very much aware that the time that we are is a perilous time. And whatever you say, whatever you do, will be used against you when the time comes. Please indicate that you are hearing me clearly. Very important. If you are hearing me clearly, just give me a thumbs up. Write in the comment section that you are hearing me clearly. I want to see that you are hearing me. Ihoma, if you are hearing me clearly, please just indicate in the comment section. Tutors, Last Benzico, William. Is everybody hearing me before I proceed? Okay, thank you, Endless. So the vindication of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, should serve as a vision to everybody. More importantly, those of them who are being recruited at this time to come against what we are doing, to fight against what we are doing. Very, very important. So having said that, I want us to understand what is trending today. What has been trending today is the death of Buhari. The death of Buhari have been trending. And, a lot of people who just joined, thank you so much. A lot of people who just joined the movement, who were not here between 2015, 16, 17. Most of them don't actually know the story of Buhari. When in 2017, I think 19th of February, when Buhari died, a lot of people don't know that story. So between 2018, 19 to this moment, maybe most of them don't know the actual story. But most of us who have been here from that time, we actually know that Buhari died in 2017. And the death of Buhari was kept or shredded in secrecy. But our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, made a very wonderful exposition about Buhari's death. Verifiable information that you can go out and verify either in the net or you ask questions. Okay. So today, you can see Nigeria telling the world or trying to make it look as if Buhari just died yesterday. For the singular fact that they confirmed that Buhari is dead, that is to show you that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is once again vindicated. It doesn't matter whether they said it yesterday or they said it the day before yesterday. The truth is that it has been said. And now that it has been said, Biafrans can now reflect back. Those of them who doubted Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, those of them who did not believe Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, you will now begin to reason. When last did you hear that Buhari was in hospital? When last did you see the Nigerian presidency telling you about Buhari in his homeland? When did you see that they took Buhari to a UK hospital? It does not exist. They waited so long. The Nigerian government waited so long in order to make sure that a lot of you forget the prophecy or what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said about Buhari. And the leaders that are coming out from Nigeria now to make it look like Buhari died yesterday, these are the men and women who made sure that that secret was kept, that secret was not made for the public, that secret, the Nigerian government did not know about it. Somebody like Obasanjo, somebody like Goodluck Jonathan, somebody like Yemi Oshibanjo, all IBB, all the former heads of states, all of them were aware that Buhari died. But because they wanted to make sure that Buhari completed his tenure, That was why they kept it in secret for every Nigerian. And you know, Nigerians are buffoons. They don't ask questions. They don't react to issues. They don't try to find out the truth. As long as the government keep them with Big Brother, keep them with Night of a Thousand Laughs, keep them with things that are irrelevant, things that does not add value to their lives, Nigerians will look the other way around. And that is why the world did not take them serious. That is why the world did not value Nigeria. Yes, we are not valued because they don't know what affects their lives. They don't know how to react to it. They don't know how to confront their problems. They don't know how to bring a lasting solution to the problem that they are facing. So when Buhari died and the cabals felt that, oh, this over 200, or let me just remove Biafra, over 120, over 120 million fools in that. As long as the ruling party, as long as the political elite keep them away from what has happened, that that is actually what happened. Then Nigerians did not ask questions. When Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was shouting it and telling them that Buhari was that have died, it was an opportunity for them to react and ask the government to bring Buhari. They want Buhari to address the opportunity for them to demand to know, to see their president, to know whether Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was lying or not. It was also the opportunity of the family of Buhari or the family of Aisha or the children of Buhari to sue Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to court. You see, it was an opportunity for them to sue Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to court as well. If actually Buhari was alive, they would have sued Mazi Nnamdi Kanu for falsehood or for false allegation. But nothing of such happened. You ask yourself, why did such thing not happen? The reason it did not happen is because Buhari died. That is the reason it did not happen. The reason it did not happen was because Buhari died. Okay? That is the reason why nobody sued anybody. Okay? Nobody sued anybody. Buhari, they did not sue Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. You know, Nigerian government did not sue anybody because they actually know, they understand that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was saying the truth. They understand that very clearly. And if they should take Mazi Nnamdi Kanu to court, the judge will demand for evidence. Yes. And the judge or the court will demand that that Buhari comes to the court, and frees himself from all these allegations and all the rest of them. But because they know that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu was actually speaking the truth, they let it lie. But the Nigerian government, the Nigerian population, the Nigerian masses, they kept mute. To them, there is no problem. They never saw it as a problem. They go on with their lives. To them. But today, that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that statement that he made has been vindicated. It has come to pass, and Nigerians should be very, very ashamed of themselves for not, keying into that very issue and demanding to know what actually happened. You see, and the reason why, we know the reason why the Fulanis, the cabals, the likes of Abba Kyari, Maman Daura, Garba Shehu, and all these northern political elites. The reason why they kept Buhari's death in secrecy, the reason why they wanted Buhari to still complete, even if it is an animal, a goat or a fowl or any animal that they present to complete the tenure of Buhari. They know that nothing is going to happen. The reason why they did that was because of what happened to Yaradua. You know, Yaradua died in office. And when Yaradua died in office, the Northern Cabals wanted to keep it as a secret. They wanted that secret to be kept as well. But unfortunately, there is a Biafran lady, Dora Akunyili. Dora Akunyili was there in the cabinet, and Dora Akunyili could not allow that to happen. It was because of the decision of Dora Akunyili and revealing that Buhari died. He was asking questions. Where is the president? Why should Nigerians not find out what has happened to Yaradua? That was when they made known the death of Yaradua. And Goodluck Jonathan now became the president, right? So Yaradua was not able to complete the 80 years tenure that he was supposed to complete. Then that Jonathan. So because of what happened to Yaradua, the Nigerian government at this time never wanted that to repeat itself. Because if they announced the death of Buhari, Osibanjo would have been the president. Yes, he would have ascended into that throne. But for the singular reason that they don't want what happened to Goodluck, to Yaradua to happen to Buhari, they now threatened Osibanjo. They now spoke to Obasanjo. You know, Obasanjo is a very is a cabal, a Sabo cabal that can do anything as long as there is money. You know, all these Yoruba people, when there is money, they can even sell their birthright. Okay, they spoke to all the Yoruba elders, Obasanjo, especially the head of states, to keep this in secret that they want Buhari to complete his 4 years tenure. And no matter how they do it, it is not the problem of the Yoruba. So they spoke to Obasanjo. Obasanjo accepted. They spoke to Odeboye, who is a pastor to all, a, a, a bigger, how do I see it, that the GO to Osibanjo. He accepted. So that was why Osibanjo could not even utter a word during the time that Buhari doubled that Jubilee from Sudan. There are so many versions of Buhari, so many of them. So Osibanjo could not utter a word. Okay, he could not come against their decision. That was why he became very, very loyal. And during that time, who was actually in charge of Nigeria after Buhari died in 2017? And remember, there is something that happened when Buhari died. Buhari died and he was buried on the 20th. He died on the 19th of February. So when Buhari died, they sealed it to Nigerians. Immediately he died and they took him to Saudi Arabia and buried him. The Nigerian government started preparing a double, knowing how um, Buhari, because they have already not told Nigeria that Buhari is dead. So they wanted to replace him at all costs. What did they do? When they came back after the burial in Saudi Arabia, they now lied to Nigerians that the president is working from home, from his hometown in Castina, because his office could not be accessed. Buhari was missing in office for complete 3 good months, if I'm not mistaken. And there were a lot of questions that was arising. The president is sick, he is not dead. He has came back according to them. Why can't he go to his office so that Nigerians can know that the president is available, that is okay, he's fine? So what happened? Garuba Shehu, Garuba Shehu now came and told Nigerians that, that the office of the president was invaded by rodents, by rats, by reptiles. So that office has to be cleaned out. In fact, they want to renovate the office of the president before he can start working from office. There was a news to that effect. Let me see if I can see the news and bring it here. There was a news to that effect. So there was a news to that effect that the president was working from home and that his office was invaded by rodents, you know, and therefore he cannot access his office. The true nature of what was happening or what was playing out at that time was that, Aserok, the security of Aserok was built during the time of Babangida. It was the Israelis that fortified the security features at Aserok. And every coming president has his fingerprint because he can enter his office. He has to use a fingerprint to open the office. Okay? It was rock solid. There is no way any person who is not a president can open that office or that office, yes, to enter the presidential villa or the presidential office, whatever. So you have to use your thumbprint. Once you place your thumb, that place will open. But because Buhari died, there was no way to access that office. So, and they are trying to, change Buhari, bring another version of Buhari. So they now lied to Nigerians that there are rodents in the office, they are renovating it. Whereas in the actual sense, what they were doing, they called Israeli experts again to come and destroy that office so that Jubril that they are now planning how to bring him in with mask and all the rest of them and coaching him on how Buhari used to act. They send videos of Buhari, how he used to talk, how he used to act. Even there was comedian one comedian, I have forgotten his name. He's a Biafran, but he married, they gave him a Fulani girl. He used to mimic Buhari very, very fluently and very, very well. At the time, they were using him to mimic Buhari when the Jubril was not so much available because, as a Nigerian now that is in Nigeria, if you use him, the family will be looking for him because they have already lied to Nigeria that Buhari is not is dead. So when they announced that boy cannot be used all the time, so they we are now looking for Al Sudani, that man from Sudan, Buhari from Sudan. So the Israelis, it took them time to destroy that office, that Aserok. It took them almost 3 months before that office can be accessed. And during that time, Garba Shehu was lying that, oh, the rodents, that rats and all the rest of them have occupied the office of the president. That was why the president is working from home, whereas they were using it to destroy that office. The Israelis expert who came, we are trying to destroy that security that was put in Nasser, so that when Jubril eventually comes, he can now access the office. That was actually what was playing out. They kept Nigerians who are fools in the dark about what is happening. They kept Nigerians never asked questions, we are told. Even when it is so glaring, Nigerians never ask questions. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made them to understand that Buhari is already dead. But instead of them to capitalize on that and ask for questions, they were focusing on Big Brother. They were focusing on irrelevant things. So I want you to know today that Mazi Nnamdi Kanu has been vindicated. So when you see them telling you that Buhari died yesterday or day before yesterday, ask them which of the Buhari is dead. Let me bring one of the Buharis so that you ask them which of the Buhari are they talking about that he died? Which of the Buhari? When you look at the screen, you will see many versions of Buhari. So which of the Buhari died? Is it the Buhari of number 1, or the number 2, or the number 3, or the number 4, or the number 5 to 12? So this man they call Buhari had different versions, a lot of different versions of Buhari. So you ask Nigerians who are telling you that Buhari died, you bring this picture and ask them which of the Buhari are they talking about that died? Which of them? Is it the one that came from Sudan, or the one that we have in Nigeria? There are about many people who look very much like Buhari, the same height, even the way they speak, that were used to deceive Nigerians, gullible people. Which of the Buhari will you ask Nigerians that they are mourning today? And the reason why they are doing that is to, destroy your mind, your mindset. For most of you who were here in 2017 and who actually saw what played out, but the Nigerian government deceived you to believe that Buhari is still very much alive. So now that they have told you that Buhari died, they are now trying to tell you that it is now that Buhari died, not then in 2017 when Mazi Nnamdi Kanu made that exposition. Okay, so what they are trying to do is to make Mazi Nnamdi Kanu a liar, to say that what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said about Buhari was lie. That was what they want. That is what they tried to achieve. Okay, that is what they are trying to achieve. That Mazi Nnamdi Kanu lied about Buhari. The matter is that ask them which of the Buhari are they talking about that have died recently. Which of the Buhari? Because we have so many versions of it. Okay, so it's very unfortunate. There is another Buhari. Let me see. And I want you to so which of the Buhari are they telling you that actually died? Which of the Buhari are they telling you that is dead? So it is quite unfortunate that the Nigerian people don't actually understand. They don't actually understand what the government are using them to do. The government are using their citizens, and the citizens are keeping mute. The citizens don't even care what is actually playing out. The citizens don't care what is actually playing out. The Nigerian government are deceiving. Are deceiving their very own population. And their population don't even care. Their population don't even care about what is actually playing out. And it's very, very sad. Very, very sad. So you ask them, which of the Buhari are they talking about when they tell you that Buhari is still very much alive? So now, yeah, so ask them, which of the Buhari are they talking about? Which of the Buhari are they talking about? You have seen the version of Buhari, so many versions of it. So many versions of Buhari that the Nigerian government are presenting to the people. They presented a lot of them. A lot of them were presented. A lot of them were presented.
Buhari is dead and buried in a shallow grave in Saudi Arabia.
Listen, this is
Buhari
one
was
of
there.
the...
She came back.
Listen to what mazi Nnamdi Kanu, when he had this interview with Dele Mahmood, you listen to what our leader said about this Buhari.
Buhari is dead and buried in a shallow grave in Saudi Arabia. Buhari was there. She came back from what they called a lesser Hajj. She was wearing black. She was mourning. If you look at the pictures that were circulated at that point in time, you will see the smug, or should I say, the forlorn faces of northern governors. A minute silence was held at the AU for a late Buhari. Even Her Britannic Majesty Queen Elizabeth II also penned a condolence message to the people of Nigeria before the cabal took over and asked her to rescind it, which she did. Buhari is dead, and I'm prepared to stake Biafra on it. If you, Dele Momodu, can go and prove to me, I'm not asking you to do anything too complex. If you can go and ask this man you call Buhari, whoever it is in Asarok, to come outside, don't do very much, address a panel of Nigerian youths, maybe 20 of them, and speak Buhari's mother tongue, which is Fulfude. I will give up Biafra. I will apologize to him, and I will submit myself to any authority on this earth to do with me as the...
Did you hear what Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said? Mazi Nnamdi Kanu challenged the Nigerian government. He challenged Dele Mahmood, who was interviewing him. He said they should go and bring out Buhari. The Buhari they say that he did not die. If they can interview him in his mother tongue, which is Fulfude, imagine that the Kanu will abandon Biafra. That was a very big challenge. A very big challenge for the Nigerian government. If actually Buhari was alive, the Nigerian government would have taken this challenge because they wanted to stop Biafra at all costs. If Buhari was alive, the Nigerian government would take this challenge without wasting any time. But because Buhari was not alive, because they know that Buhari died, they never picked up that challenge by Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. They never picked up that challenge. They let it lie low. They tried to cover it. They tried to deceive the people. In fact, they deceived the Nigerian people, but they never deceived the vast majority of reasonable Biafrans who actually knew that Buhari died. Continue.
There is no Buhari. Jubril was there. Jubril followed Abakari to Cuba and ran away from there and never came back. The man you have now in Asarok is from Niger Republic. His name is Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad. That's his name. Yusuf Abubakar.
You see it. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu said the name that they were using is Yusuf Abubakar Muhammad. That is the first Buhari that is the Buhari that they are replacing the dead Buhari with, and deceiving over 120 million Nigerians who don't actually want to reason with their brain. So,
even Shekau knows who he is personally and was mentioning his name as well. It is not Buhari. The old Buhari that you and I know, the country cannot be burning and he will restrict himself to only 12 minutes of edited broadcast. Impossible. Impossible. Anybody that knows Buhari, even if he's dying, he must speak because he fought in his own understanding to keep Nigeria one.
So, you see, our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said it all. He challenged the Nigerian government. He challenged the Buhari, even Buhari family, even Aisha family. When he was saying that Buhari died, he challenged anybody to come and take him to court. He even said that if they can prove that Buhari is alive, he is going to forget everything about fighting for freedom. That was a very big opportunity for the Nigerian government to stop Biafra. That was an opportunity for them to embrace and stop Mazi Nnamdi Kanu from destroying Nigeria if actually Buhari was alive. But there are a lot of things that they did to make sure that they convinced the over 20 million useless, idiotic Nigerians, including their professors, who were not making use of their number 6. I removed 80 million Biafrans from these. Of course, there are some remnants of Biafrans, those who are working in the government, those who are, part of the Nigerian government. They are in that group. because the Nigerian government have already bought them over. So the remaining over 120 million Nigerians, they were focused on Big Brother. They were focused on on YouTube, on Facebook, on TikTok, Night of 1,000 Laughs. They were doing things that are irrelevant against their will, things that are not adding value to the lives of the population. That was what they are concerned. They forgot that the Nigerian government made sure that they used 3 months to destroy Rock in order for the Jubilee to access the office of the president because of the security features that he had. Okay, so this is a vindication of our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, that Buhari died in 2017. So when you see Obasanjo, when you see Goodluck Jonathan, when you see all these people now coming out to tell you, oh, they send their condolences, they do this, they do that. These are the people that the Nigerian government have used. These government have used in order to deceive the Nigerian people. So these are the same people that will come out and tell you that, oh, they are sending their condolences to the, oh, Buhari died this, Buhari died that. Including, okay, I want to ask you, which president of the world have sent any message to the any message of condolence? Not the one the Nigerian news media is writing. No. Which president? You can imagine Buhari died in London. The prime minister, UK prime minister, is not saying anything. He may say anything because he is part of the Nigerian government. They were part of the orchestrated plan to keep people in the dark about Buhari. So he may not say anything. He may say anything. Donald Trump can never say anything. Other presidents of the world can never send any message because they know it was a decoy. They know that the Nigerian people are fools. Their government lies to them and they believe it. So Nigerian government will only use those of the people that they appointed into offices. They will use the embassies that you have in the Nigeria, in Abuja. They will tell you, oh, they will go and meet the embassy, American ambassador, and all the rest of them, and they will give their statement in Abuja. Yes, their statement cannot come from Washington, D.C. No, their statement cannot come from the office of the president of their country. No, because they know it's lie. They are using African Union. They are using ECOWAS because they control ECOWAS and African Union. So Nigeria can use anybody to send a sympathy message, a condolence message. Okay. So what you see them, all these things you see them doing on social media, oh, having a large number of people and all the rest of them, they want to prove to Nigerians that they deceived. They want to prove to Nigerians that they deceived, that, oh, Buhari actually died. Whereas we know that Buhari died in 2017. Buhari died in 2017. And it is quite unfortunate that people don't believe that Buhari have died. Let me see if I can bring this. Wow. They don't believe that Buhari died in 2015. But we, the Biafra, knew that Buhari has already died. We know that Buhari is no more. But the Nigerian government have deceived a lot of people to believe that Buhari is still very much alive and that he just died yesterday or 2 days ago. Okay? So this is a confirmation and a vindication of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. It doesn't matter whether they are saying he will die tomorrow. ask them which version of Buhari died. Is it the Jubril version or which other version that they are talking about? Because the original Buhari, who was the president of Nigeria between 2015 to 2020 to 2017, died while in office. Yes, he died just like Yaradua while in office because they never wanted a reputation of Yaradua to happen. That was why. That was why they now have to make sure that they replaced Yaradua. They replaced Buhari with this Jubril from Sudan. It's very, very unfortunate and very, very bad. So I want us to understand that Buhari has died long time ago. Buhari died long time ago. He did not die today. Buhari did not die today. So anybody telling you that, oh, they are mourning Buhari, Buhari just died, that person is a liar from the pit of hell. That person is lying. Buhari died in 2017. And because they never wanted Nigerians to know, they wanted Buhari to complete his four years tenure. That was the reason why they made sure. That was the reason why they made sure that they covered that crime, that criminal activity. They covered it for their gullible followers, their gullible youths, the gullible Nigerian youths who could not ask questions, who never ask questions. They don't ask questions. The gullible Nigerian youth, they never. Okay, thank you. They never ask questions. They never ask questions because onye ajụjụ araghị efu ụzọ. Onye ajụjụ araghị efu ụzọ. So, my wonderful Biafrans and lovers of freedom, I want you to understand that the Nigerian government have deceived their population for a very long time. They have deceived them, and they will continue to deceive them. But we Biafrans, we can't be deceived. We can no longer be deceived anymore because we know what we want. We know the truth about Buhari's death. And that is why it is very, very unfortunate that those who don't know are just waking up now and say they are mourning Buhari. So, and this is a very wonderful time for all these people, these new Sabos, who are coming up now. I want you to understand that this confirmation of our leaders' broadcast and other confirmations of his prophecy is a vindication that no matter what you do, no matter your level of sabotage, you are not going to succeed. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu have told you, have made us to understand, okay, that Biafra will come in our own time. So if you are rising up to fight against Biafra, I want you to remember this step. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu also said that no matter what you do, you can never destroy this freedom that we are fighting. I want the likes of what do you call them? All these people, Imam Madabo, John Irobi, Chiamaka Ajare, Ruby Nadi. I want all these people to understand that they can never stop Biafra from coming. And to buttress what I said about the death of Buhari. When Buhari died, information, Queen Elizabeth gave her own condolence message. Although that she was later asked to resend that to in order to not to tarnish the image of the terrorist state, she was asked to change the message. But I want us to understand that when Buhari died, Queen Elizabeth sent her message, her condolence message to people. He wrote in the condolence register, and it's very, very clear for them to understand. It's very, very clear for them to understand what she was saying in that condolence message. Okay? In that condolence message, he said, and that was on the 7th. That message was sent. He said, let me read the message. The Queen of Britain, Her Royal Majesty Queen Elizabeth II, has sent a condolence message to the family of Nigerian President Muhammadu Buhari and the people of Nigeria. For the record, Buhari died on the 7th of April 2017. So there are no official reports on the speculated death of the president. On the message of the condolence from the two sources close to the presidency has said that the presidents have passed on, and that the photos circulating social media are those from his previous visits. Another London says PM Theresa May has visited the Nigerian ambassador to the UK. In a condolence message, the Queen describes Buhari as one of the African pillars. The death of President Buhari came to us as a shock. He has been one of the active pillars in Africa. May the good people of Nigeria and Africa know that our hearts are with them in these hard times, the Queen said. Now, is it out of ordinary if Buhari never died that the Queen, who was in power at that time, will now send a condolence message? This happened when Buhari died, because Buhari died in London. He died of, he had a very dangerous, I think it's cancer or something like that. And somebody of his age can never survive such a surgery that he has to undergo. So since he died in the UK, the Queen had to send his condolence immediately. But these condolence have been, the Nigerian government tried to cover it. They covered it. They don't want people to know, because they have a motive in order to make sure that the Nigerian people don't know about the death of Buhari. But the same message was relayed in ECOWAS, just like when I played you what that interview with our leader and the Moma Dele Mahmoud. You saw what he said, that even in African Union, a milli silence was heard for Buhari, but yet they want the gullible Nigerians to believe that he never died. So this is a very strong message for each and every one of you that feel that at this time that you are going to destroy what we are doing. I want you to understand that ihe anyị na-emewe ihe mmụọ, and Mazi Nnamdi Kanu's prophecies must always come to pass. Okay? All his prophecies must always come to pass. So it doesn't matter whether you join today to sabotage what we are doing. It doesn't matter whether you join to sabotage. One thing is very clear: you can never, ever succeed. Mazi Nnamdi Kanu must be vindicated every blessed day, because he is a prophet of our time. And that is why, whatever you do, I want you to understand that you can never succeed in sabotaging this government. You can never succeed in sabotaging what we are doing. Okay? So you can only try, but you can never succeed. You can only try, but you can never succeed. Who are now agents of the Nigerian state? For those of you who are now coming to, to fight against our government, for those of you who are now coming, look at this woman. He is part of those who are coming to try to fight what the government is doing, trying to stop what the Biafran government is doing in order for Biafra to come. Do you think that this Madam Van 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 will succeed? Don't you know that the promise of our leader Mazi Nnamdi Kanu will certainly come to pass? Pastor Van 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 or Madam Van Van Van. And for those of you who are listening to all the garbage coming from them, I want you to understand they are no longer part of us. They are no longer part of us. I want you to know that. I want you to know that any one of them that is part and parcel fighting against our government, they can never succeed. Look at them. Most of them are politicians. Most of them are canvassing for 2027. Ruby Nnadi, his brother is Nnadi, Tony Nnadi. This is one of them that was fighting against our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. While they are inside the movement, look at what they are doing. They have political affiliations down there in that contraption. So is it all these people that are going to fight for the freedom to make you have your freedom? These people can never make us have our freedom. That is why we must do everything humanly possible to make sure that we support the Biafran Defense Forces and defend our land and defend our territory, because all these people fight Ogechukwu coming out to fight against our government, they never believed on the prophecies of our leader mazi Nnamdi Kanu. Because if they did believe on it, they should understand that there is nothing they can do to destroy Biafra. They should have known that. They should have known that. They should have also known that mazi Nnamdi Kanu is a prophet that have not been matched in his prophecies. Okay? A prophet that should nobody, you cannot match mazi Nnamdi. His prophecies have always come to pass. So why do you now believe that you can be able to stop what we are doing in order for us to be free? So all these people who belong to various organizations in Nigeria, we want to let you understand that Biafra must come and the prophecy of our leader must come to pass. It doesn't matter how long you fight against it. It doesn't matter what you do. Oh my goodness me, I don't even know how am I going to remove the restream. How am I going to remove it? Oh my God, let me see how I'm going to do that. I'm just using this gadget for, let me see how I'm going to do that. Let me see how I'm going to do that. I don't even know. Let me see if I can delete it. I can't see how I can do that. Okay, I'll do it on a later date. Let me see. Send, send to device. So, my wonderful Biafrans and the lovers of freedom, we have to support the Biafran Liberation Army, the Biafran Defense Forces. This is very, very important. We have to support this army of Chukwokika Abiyama. They are doing the needful to protect our land. We must fund them at all cost. At all cost. Very important. We must fund the Biafran Defense Forces at all cost. Okay? At all cost. No matter what it costs us, because it is these men and women that will be able to liberate our land, that will be able to liberate terrorists. that are occupying our territories, that have occupied most of our territories. If not for the advent of these gallant men and women, our territories will be occupied. But thank God, they are now taking up territories in order to protect our land. Very, very important. So I thank you this morning for being part of this broadcast. Please, if you have not liked, if you have not shared, please like and share. Comment. I need to see your comments. I see most of your comments. I see it so much and I appreciate that. And as time goes on, I'll be a master of all this. This is just the first time, or the second time rather, I'm trying to test this new stuff. But I believe by tomorrow, I will be able to do most of the things you asked me to do. So I appreciate every one of you. I appreciate each and every one of you for being part of this program, okay? We will continue to do the needful. Don't relent in whatever you do in fighting for the freedom of your people. Our people will be very proud of you for being part of this restoration project, okay? We have to do everything humanly necessary to make sure that our leaders are freed very soon. The reason why Nigerian government are deceiving their population is because of mazi Nnamdi Kanu. That is just the reason. But we know who our leader is. If the Nigerian government can lie to their people that rats occupied the office of the president because of our leader, if Nigerian government can lie to their population that their president have to work from home to the office because of our leader, if Nigerian government can now come out today and tell you that Buhari has died, even when mazi Nnamdi Kanu said it a long time ago, I want you to know that they know that what our leader mazi Nnamdi Kanu have said is nothing but the truth. But they don't want him to be vindicated. Okay? They don't want him to be vindicated. They don't want mazi Nnamdi Kanu's prophecy, people to look at his prophecy and said, yes, that this is actually what mazi Nnamdi Kanu said. No, they never wanted that to happen. That is why they did everything that they did in order to make sure that they cover their tracks. But even at that, they have failed because Biafrans know the truth. We know the truth. We know who mazi Nnamdi Kanu is. And mazi Nnamdi Kanu even swore with Biafra. If he was lying, he wouldn't have sworn with Biafra. He actually knew. He actually knew that Biafra is here. mazi Nnamdi Kanu knows that Biafra is here. And that is why he wants to open the eyes of every indigenous population. Because he was not only fighting for the Biafran people, he was fighting for everybody in that Nigeria. So that people can rise up and understand what is confronting them and understand challenges that they are facing, that the problem that they have is the political leaders. Yes, Ben, thank you so much. They should show us any world leader, like I said earlier, that will write condolence message, not the ones they will pronounce on by their mouth in Aso Rock. No, the only world leader we expect may not do that is the UK Prime Minister because he's working with the Nigerian state, but no other world leader will say any condolence because they know that Buhari died long time ago. They know the game that Nigerian government have played on their own citizens. And it's so heartbreaking that over 120 million Nigerians, because I've taken Biafrans out of Nigeria, over 120, none of them is asking question. None of them ask question. None of them ask question about what has happened. They were kept in the dark up to this moment. And they will remain in the dark. They will actually remain in the dark because that part of the world, that part of the world is a pity for them because they cannot rise up. They cannot confront their fears. They cannot confront their ruler, those who have held them down. They cannot confront them and ask them questions. And that is why we are asking you as a Biafran to support the Biafran Republic government in exile so that we are going to build a nation that you will be proud of. A nation that the government will be answerable to the people. Whenever anything happens, the government will come and address you. Whenever anything happens, you will see the presence and feel the presence of your government in your areas, in your localities, in your lives. That is the government we are fighting for. That is why mazi Nnamdi Kanu is in detention. That is why Simon Ekpa is still in detention. All because of you and because of me. So thank you so much for being part of this program. See you tomorrow. I want to appreciate everybody who joined me this morning. And I want to ask subscribe to my YouTube channel. Please do so as soon as possible, so as to encourage us to do more. As you know, we are trying to put certain things in order. By the time we are through with our, studio, studio, you have to fix a lot of things. A lot of things are involved in making sounds come out and making pictures come very clear and voice. Unfortunately, I've not gotten to that stage anyway, but the little that I can add, I'm trying to do that. So I really appreciate your presence. Thank you so much. Subscribe to my YouTube channel so that when big things happen, we come out big. But one thing I want you to do for me, always stand on the path of truth, even if you are standing alone, because eventually you'll be vindicated. Look at our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu. All his prophecies, no matter how long he stays, or no matter how long people try to hide it from coming out into the public glare, it will eventually come out and he will be vindicated. This is actually what is happening today. After how many years of Buhari's death, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu is now being vindicated. He's now being vindicated. So, if you stand on the path of truth, you will eventually be vindicated. And once that vindication comes, your heart will be very, very clean and clear, and you will be restful. Truth stands the test of time. Truth is just like this light. You see, when the light comes, the darkness gives way. So when truth comes, falsehood disappears. So thank you so much for joining me this morning. I want to appreciate our leader, Mazi Nnamdi Kanu, who made this message to get to me, and who is making this message to go wide for every Biafran to see. I appreciate him. I appreciate our Prime Minister, who also is contributing his own quota to make sure that we have a government that is unbreakable. Okay, I appreciate him as well. I also appreciate our acting Prime Minister, Ogechukwu Nkere, who is making sure that the government, as it is unbreakable, that the government policies are implemented following the charter and as well as the bylaws. I appreciate him as well. I appreciate every one of you who is contributing immensely for our freedom. Please continue to do the needful, continue to do your own bit to make sure you fund the liberation, the recognition, so that in no distant time we are going to be home. I appreciate you all. I appreciate our lobbyist, Elias. Mazi Elias is doing great. Don't mind the name they are calling him on the social media. Yes, if you are doing something that the enemy does not like, the enemy will eventually call you names. We appreciate Mazi Elias. I use this medium as well to appreciate the information minister, Mazi Sonny Akwarawa, the Okokon Young, for standing upright and being truthful to this cause. We appreciate you, Obong Sonny Akwarawa. Thank you so much for what you have done and what you are doing. All the cabinet ministers who are standing on the path of truth, I appreciate every one of you as well. And more importantly, the Biafran Defense Forces, Igwe Butuzo and his men, I salute all of you for making us proud and defending the land of our ancestors. Continue your good works. Thank you so much, Biafrans. Like, share, and subscribe. When next I come your way, you will always get my notification. Thank you and see you on the other side. Ndewonomu Chineke, as I will be signing out from here. Tutors, oh, man, I know verse. Make I greet my people. Endless, I see you. Endless, Senator Endless, I see you. Thank you so much. Thank you for being here. Thank you for your presence. Uh-uh. I don't know where I pressed. I don't know what happened. Hide this thing, please. I don't know what happened. I see Endless Leroy. I see Tutos. I see Kiru. I see Biafra Free Energy Tech. I see Emmanuel. I see all of you that are here. And I thank you for joining me this morning. Okay? Thank you all. And see you next time as I will sign out from